different thing. Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to Modular Components, being hosted by myself, the Vacuuminator, finally, again, thank God. And I'm here with he of the clean balls, Boingo Rider.
Yeah, I had to take some basketballs, give them a nice good scrubbing and some dish soap.
Yeah, nice job.
Did you meet LeBron James?
And
what?
What?
Did you meet LeBron James?
No.
That's
He lives
sad.
in a different state. But speaking now is they who know many ways to get canceled, Buster Corp.
Yes. Not from personal experience, but mostly secondhand.
I'm sure. Anyway, it's an Analytical Fanboys 5th episode, or not Analytical Fanboys. Good God damn it, and other such phrases. You know I haven't been on the show.
How long has it been since we've done Analytical Fanboys?
A good long time, which is exactly as long as I have not been on this show, which is why I'm all discombobulated. I'm not used to hosting things anymore. But I'm hosting this now, and this is Modular Components, right? It's not Twit.
Yeah.
We're not on Twit right now, right?
Yeah, we're components.
Okay. Just making sure. But it is a 5th episode. It's episode 35, I believe. And that means we do a top 5 special. We pick a topic and we count down our top 5 things that go with that topic. And these chuckle fucks forgot to pick it last episode. And I even gave them the extra chance, hey, do the special while I'm on vacation, and you can pick it then, and they still forgot. So we just called an audible, and we're doing top 5 YouTubers tonight, or at least top 5 YouTubers at this moment. Because I don't know about you, gentlemen, but my top 5 or my favorite YouTubers in general just changes every other month or so.
Yeah, same. Totally same.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that.
That's why I kind of gave myself a limitation of like, what do I want to put on my list? And I was like, okay, I made myself a rule. So it's like, okay, it's not just super contemporary. It kind of is me from the last year, my favorite YouTubers of kind of like the last couple years. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you're trying to go for evergreen, whereas I literally titled my document Top 10 YouTubers as of 2022, I guess. Because I had to make this today.
I'll just be like, okay, here's one from each category of YouTube I like except music, because music YouTubers are hard to describe of why I like them.
Fair enough. And I mean, I'll straight up admit, because I said this to you before we started recording, Buster, my shortlist was 11 channels, and I just straight up ranked them by ones I rush to the fastest if they upload a video, and then just put a little cut right where it's at 5. So that's the ones I'm going with. No kind of fancy statistics or anything.
Yeah, I just none of these are in any particular order. I'll be for me.
How about you, Boingo?
Yeah, I don't have a specific order. I just have my one rule, which is these are appointment viewings. When they upload a video, I go like, all right, cool. I can't watch it right this second. But as soon as I have that block of time, I'm watching it. No questions, no everything. Just watch.
Very much the same. I didn't put any on my short list of 11. Literally none of the channels on there are like, oh, I'll wait to watch one of their videos. It's like, ooh, that's out. I gotta get to that at some point today.
Yeah. Because there are several content creators that go like, oh, I can immediately watch their stuff because it's low mentality. But you don't have to put energy and effort into watching it. Few is a good example because it's just conversational. Comic Pop is a similar way of like, yeah, no, I watch them as soon as they upload a video. But to me, it's not like I have to watch it. It's like, oh, I got something cool to watch.
Fair enough, and I also feel like news channels are kind of disqualified from that I have to watch it today stigma, because like I watch Wrestle Talk almost every day. It's not because I love them.
Right. I mean, you like their personality.
While we're doing that, should we get some honorable mentions?
I suppose we can. If we have honorable mentions, we could each like rattle off a few real quick and not.
I mean, I got some there's some classic ones that go like these were the ones that made me a fan of YouTube as a platform in general.
I wasn't even thinking that way because I just went straight up with people who I'm currently subscribed to.
Well, I'm still subscribed to them because I never like a lot of them just stopped making the content that I watched them for originally, like Mystery Guitar Man.
I've never watched Mystery Guitar Man.
Is he no longer a mystery or a guitar man?
Yeah, he kind of left YouTube. He started doing other Hollywood projects, but nothing
Good for
like big backstage stuff. Classic style Rhett and Link.
Watched a little Rhett and Link, not much.
Good Mythical Morning. Those guys, before they did that show, they were basically variety YouTubers. They did skits, they did music, they did anything.
I still
and
have no idea who we're talking about.
Good Mythical Morning.
You're young.
Yeah.
I think I've heard that name. I just don't know what it means.
It's a talk show thing.
Okay. I have like one major honorable mention, and the only reason it's an honorable mention is because I've already talked to them about them at length on social media and just this series of podcasts, and that's Scott the Waz. I feel like I don't need to say anymore.
It's not on your list?
Okay, he would be, but I want to give the spotlight to other channels I have not mentioned.
That's a completely fair assessment.
No, that just throws me for a loop. I feel like I can't guess any of your lists now.
It's not your number one. That's your number 0. It's more important than 1.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it would be number 1, but I want to give the spotlight to some other creators I love.
Jordan, sit down. Let Scottie Pippen take the lead.
I guess I would give shout outs to people like Red Letter Media. You know, they're people that have been
Red
here
Letter's not on your
forever.
list?
They're not on my list. They are number 6 in the ranking I came up with. Like they're OGs. They've been here forever. They create an entire format that people now love and use. And I still find their content entertaining. Like occasionally they'll post something that I disagree with and find a little cringe, but they never posted anything I think is outright bad. Like they should take this down. Whereas there's plenty of other people out there who I can say that about, and I'm still following for some reason. Another one, Overly Sarcastic Productions, just because I realized I don't have any women on my main list, and I feel a little bad about that. But I love Red's videos. I can listen to her talk about random tropes and whatnot for ages.
And Blue's good too.
Yeah, Blue's a good boy.
Blue's a good boy. And I love the way Blue loves his partner Cyan so much. This is adorable.
Actually, speaking of women YouTubers, Lady Emily was gonna be on my list, but I'm like, she's a bit too recent to get like a style, like a good reading on. But I love what video she has posted. And I always like rush to like watch.
Yeah, like I like the videos she's made, but I feel like she hasn't made enough videos and enough variety of kinds of videos for me to really get into her yet.
Yeah.
You know, there have a couple of content creators that are like that. Like they make really good stuff, but it's inconsistent enough that it's kind of like it's hard to just pay attention to them and focus on them. Like there's Shay May, who I love dearly. I love his content. Bread Sword, love his stuff. It's always good. Noodle to an extent. Noodle's really good.
For me, that like someone that would fall into that category for me would be Vintage Tension. That kind of like the same thing where it's like he's a bit
Vintage
too
Tension is great. Why didn't I put him anywhere on my list?
Yeah.
And then there's ones that like I really like the one series they do, and I kind of watch some of the other stuff they do, but not as much as the one series. Like Kaiser Beams, I think it is. They do retro anime, which I watch every once in a while when the series looks interesting, but I absolutely adore their Looney Tunes documentary that they've been doing.
Yeah.
I dropped off Kaiser Beams. I hadn't heard about the Looney Tunes stuff. I have to check that out.
And then there's also the other ones of like, I really like their content, but sometimes I just can't watch their video in that headspace right now. Like Philosophy Tube or ContraPoint.
That's every fucking Philosophy Tube video for me. I'm like, I'm gonna have to wait like a month before I'm mentally prepared for this. I'm sorry.
Or H Bomber Guy 211 when he talks about more politically stuff. When it's video games, it's pretty instant. But like again, and because not inconsistent, but like there's a block of time between uploads.
Yeah. Eye Patch Wolf can kind of be that way for me. Like I like his videos, but like he rarely makes a video that makes me go, "Oh, I gotta watch that."
Well, I was close to putting Eye Patch Wolf on my list, but then I realized I haven't really watched a lot of his early content. I'm mostly into his like newer stuff, like 2019, for like just when he kind of slowed down on the anime content, when he did a bit more variety, like his video game and like internet culture analysis. So I'm like, it feels a bit weird to just put him on there for like just half, like only his recent stuff when he's like done a lot of stuff like the Hunter videos.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of, I'm sorry, you can go.
No. It might lead into off of what you're saying, but it's also like little other bits. Don't worry.
Okay,
Go.
I was just gonna say, speaking of people who've gotten really good recently, and not to say he was bad before this, it's just I feel like abroad in Japan, ever since the Too Much Volcano era, like the Journey Across Japan that birthed that song, I feel like he's really come into his own, and I'm really enjoying his content now.
Yeah. But speaking of abroad in Japan, there's also like a list of content creators. So like I always watch their stuff. It's really good, but it's not mind blowing. That it's always just like it's good, solid entertainment for what it's trying to be. It's not trying to be anything like super like
All of us.
yeah, all of us. Sea Dog VA,
Yeah.
he kind of fits into that. Wang kind of fits into that. Where
I
he's not
have a couple toy tubers that I would put in that bracket of like I love watching the Fwoosh. Just Jay Hernandez is amazing, but like it's always the same level of amazing. So it's hard for me to be like, oh, you're my favorite because you're constant. You're always doing something cool. It's like you're always doing something cool, but you're not always doing something cool with it underlined. You know what I mean?
Actually, I have one more honorable mention. He was almost on my list, but then I'm like, I need a bit more variety in terms of content. Cat Icarus. I just always love his content, especially now. Like, ever since 2020, when he kind of started doing like hour-long videos on like multiple games. It's just been like comedy, great jokes, great analysis, great like history. It's the Jesus video is some of the peakest comedy on YouTube, like as of recent memory.
That little generation of video game reviewer content creators is always has a special place in my heart. Caddy, Brutal Moose when he did video games, Space Hamster,
your Hidden Block and Normal Boots gang.
Hidden Block, Normal Boots, and then the adjacent people like Some Call Me Johnny.
Oh, you might have just spoiled someone on my list.
Do y'all watch any lore channels by any chance? Are there any like you're
One
really
Piece
into?
ones. One Piece ones, Tekking is good. I just started watching Grand Line Review, but I only just started, so. But there's One Piece videos. I watch One Piece videos.
What do you mean by lore channel?
Or Digimon.
Like a channel that's not like providing analysis, purely makes videos to explain a thing about a thing.
Nah, I kind of fell off that. I'll just use Google if I want to get that.
The only lore channel I still follow is Transformers: The Basics. I love Chris McFeely's explaining of various Transformers topics to the point of where like there's a moment in I don't know what video it is, but there's a few video where like he's taking toys out of a box with a guy and he stops and he goes, "You know when you feel like you have the robot knowledge and then you don't all of a sudden and it's really fun?" This whole video is that for me. Chris McFeely's channel is just constantly that for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never heard of Enemy until 2 weeks ago.
Do you know your enemy? Do you know your enemy?
No, and I also don't know your guys' lists, so who the heck is going to go first?
Should we pull straws?
Let me well, there's not two of us. I can't flip a coin. Let me find a random number generator real quick.
All right.
Between 1 and 3 and wait, Peter 1, Peter 2, Peter 3.
Just fucking you got the numbers listed down in your head. Just when you roll the number, tell who goes first.
Okay. Buster, give us your number 5.
All right, my number 5 is a childhood favorite. I still watch to this day. Some Call Me Johnny. All right. So basically, he was kind of my introduction to the analysis and review side of YouTube because for a while, YouTube for me was just Let's Plays and gameplay videos, just a way to find out news on upcoming games. But then I just decided on a whim, I was like, hey, I see this Johnny Versus series always being recommended to me. Let's check it out. And that was kind of my introduction to kind of that like analysis and review kind of content on YouTube. And he's still funny to this day. Like his Corey in the House video always gives me a laugh. And he still like provides like very thoughtful analysis for like the common man. And it's probably, if I had to say, if there's like a channel, like a review channel that anyone can get into, it's probably Johnny's.
That's interesting because like I've heard his name a whole bunch, especially since becoming friends with you, but I've never actually watched a Some Call Me Johnny video.
I really enjoyed his Metal Gear Solid marathon back in the day.
Oh yeah, that's a good marathon. Like I just love this, like all the marathons he does. It gives you like a lot of. That's kind of how I learned about 3D Sonic and like all. And it was really cool. Like last year when he revisited his old, like a bunch of old marathons, like the Sonic and Metroid marathon. That ended from like the SGB review days. That was like such like a cool like full circle moment. Yeah, he's a cool guy. Really, really, if there's like one YouTuber I want to meet at a convention any day, it's him.
He's also like, Vac, you vibe with him because I watch Some Call Me Johnny on a regular basis too. He's like older millennial.
Okay.
You know how we're young millennial? He's a little bit older millennial.
I mean, I heard Corey in the house, but does he just do video games or does he expand out into other things?
He reviewed the video game Corey in the house.
Because it was part of a donation.
I'm looking at the camera like I'm on The Office.
Like it was a part of a donators marathon, which is also he covered a Mary Kate and Ashley game during that marathon. Basically, just fans who gave him games, and then he just reviewed them, and it led to some of the most iconic moments in Some Call Me Johnny history.
Fair enough. All right. Anything else to say on him?
Good, but basically, like my introduction to this kind of like what I consider YouTube.
And it's also a very different kind of introduction because that is definitely in the era post storyline internet reviewer.
Yeah, like he was kind of like at the tail end of that, where it's like the Tails doll story arc, because that was a thing. But even then, that was only in like a couple videos, not really like all throughout.
Because like when we started watching reviewers, it was Angry Video Game Nerd, Nostalgia Critic, Linkara.
I feel like for me, I went backwards because like 2017, 2016, I rediscovered those old reviewers, and that's kind of what led to my storyline mortality for a bit I had with my old channel.
Fair enough. Okay. Boingo, go ahead and give us your number 5.
All right. This is we're going to be going into a place where neither of you would venture into. Bad Obsession Motorsports.
What the fuck is that?
It's 2 British dudes who for about 6 to 7 years now have just been building one little car.
Think you've told me about this? That premise sounds familiar.
Basically, there are a couple guys who really enjoy rally racing, like on an amateur sense, and they had the idea for a project car where they take a Mini Cooper and put basically a Toyota engine in it.
Nice.
Okay, so overall, simple enough concept, but every step of the way, they look at the problem and go, I want to make this the most robust, solid piece of engineering we can do to make this the most beautiful and elegant project car in the world.
So it's perfectionism, the channel.
Yes, and like, it's a running gag of like, all right, we just need to get this popped in here. Wait a second, we need to build like 5 different brackets to make sure everything fits in here at perfect 90-degree angles and everything looks nice and pretty and while we're putting it in there. And it's like, okay, God. And that's the next episode. And the next episode's next month. It's a monthly kind of series.
Yeah, makes sense. It sounds very Boingo core. Like this is how you would approach a project if given enough time.
But it's also just like, it's a beautiful, it's like over ostentatious kind of car. It's a beautifully simple. They only just painted it like last year, and they've been working on it for years. They built their own AC unit for the car.
What the fuck?
Like from scratch, like from nothing.
My goodness.
Like it's that kind of, all right, we need to build the car.
Damn. All right. Also, I've enjoyed during this entire segment. Buster has been muted, presumably because somebody else is in their room. But the whole time they've been talking, and you can still see the avatar animate.
Yeah, fair enough.
No one can see it anyway. But yeah, that sounds very like looking at the channel, very like
But it's also very dry British humor. I think that's the first time I've heard the CAD joke. Because normally CAD is computer-aided drafting. Mm-hmm. It's cardboard-aided drafting, where you sketch out the part you want to build out of cardboard. And then you cut it out, like use that as a template for the metal. And it's like really fucking good. It's just really solid. Let me put it this way. They spent an entire 2 episodes building a stand to put the car on so they can turn it in the air to work on the underside without having to go under the car.
Bruh.
I see.
It's that level of dedication of trying to make it good.
All right. Well, my number 5. Sorry, did you want to say something, Buster?
Yeah, I was just saying, very interesting concept. Very, yeah. Like, they really carved a niche for them.
5. Sorry, did you want to say something, Buster?
Yeah, I was just saying, very interesting concept. Very, yeah. Like, they really carved a niche for themselves, I'd say. Very interesting.
Yeah, like, and everybody who watches car YouTube goes like, these guys are a cut above the rest kind of thing. Because there's a lot of...
It seems like a real gearhead channel.
Yeah. Like, sometimes some of the things they're talking about goes over my head, but I just go like, I appreciate what you're building.
Yeah. All right. My number 5 is going to be Bo Miles. I think I have talked... Beaumiles. Like, it's literally the dude's name. And he is a professor and author who lives in kind of rural Australia. And he basically makes mini documentaries off of kind of like esoteric wilderness man premises that he can do just within his own area. Like, I was just watching a video of his earlier today that is just, hey, what would it be like if I kayaked to work? Because I have a river that runs kind of close to my house and kind of close to the school I work at. And it's just like, what is the experience of doing that? And he's got a bunch of different like premises for, I'm gonna run along this this old long since decommissioned railway that's in my area. I'm going to walk to work, which instead of being 2 hours is 2 days. I'm going. I think the video of his that first caught my eye was, what would it do to my body to eat nothing but canned beans for a month straight?
I want to say this real quick. I went to his YouTube channel. YouTube is saying I watched the beginning of that and haven't finished it.
I think I've talked about this guy on Components before, because I really like him. Like, he is my idea of a man's man. Like, he's a really nice, really sweet guy, but he has a cute little family, and he does all these kind of like wilderness man activities and makes these brilliant documentary films about them. It's like, I watch him and I enjoy him because he's not a person I ever think I could be, but he's a person I aspire to be, and I enjoy vicariously experiencing that life, you know?
Yeah. It looks really solid, but it's also doesn't look overly pretentious of like, I can fucking handle the wilderness, fuck you.
Oh no, he's very anti-macho. Like, he's not as goofy Australian as like Dank Pods is, but he's like a goofy, affable guy of like, this is hard, this is a weird idea, but that's why I'm doing it. It's to challenge myself.
It's the romanticism of trying.
Mm-hmm. Like, to throw out another couple videos of his that are actually fairly recent that I like, he made a video where he tried to plant an entire field's worth of trees in one night. And he made a documentary about trying to build a secret, build an office building in his backyard for his wife in secret as an anniversary present during COVID lockdown.
That's kind of cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's Bo Miles. I like him a lot, and I think he's unless you're looking for that kind of slice of life stuff, it's hard to find channels like his. So I really wanted to make sure he got on my list. Buster, what is your number 5?
Right,
4.
my number 4. All right,
Sorry.
number 4 is like technically a streamer hybrid, like YouTuber. Like, I decided, okay, I want to have like a streamer YouTuber hybrid. I mainly watch the YouTube VODs anyway, so I don't really watch much. And that is Salty DK Dan. He has various shows. The big one that kind of skyrocketed his popularity was Have You Heard About, which is like him and his friends going on like weird internet shenanigans. The most viewed episode is Have You Heard About Diver Wimpy Kid fanfics? And they're like Reddit fanfics. They're like structured like the actual books.
Okay.
It gets bizarre. and like there's also SpongeBob and Taran. There's a lot of weird stuff they find. Very interesting origins. He's kind of starting to get into video essays with the JoJo retrospective, and he also uploads stream VODs of him playing games. One of his most popular series as of the Pokemon Friendlock, where basically it's a Pokemon Nuzlocke, but each Pokemon is his friend. They have these old personalities, and it's great.
Neat.
Yeah,
I've literally never heard of this person before, but their channel sounds cool enough.
I ran into them on the front page.
Also, one of my favorite videos they've done is Pokemon H the movie, and it's like, this man is insane. How the hell did he complete this game?
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it, but it's basically what happens when you take a 5-second Vinesauce Joel joke and make a movie out of it.
Boingo, you got a number 4?
I do got a number 4, and this one's going to be an obvious one. It's going to be one that people are going to go like, oh yeah, no, someone's going to be talking about them this episode. Worthy Kids.
I've never heard of this channel.
Oh, is it the ones that did the burger?
Yep, burger, Big Time Burger.
Yeah, I've been meaning to
Big Top Burger.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to them, but I haven't watched any of their videos.
They're an animator with what I can describe as a very specific animation style.
Oh, you sent me this channel at one point.
Mm-hmm. I've sent people to these videos a lot. The best way to describe it is a person being heavily inspired by the Rankin and Bass stop motion animation thing and using it in contemporary mixed media animation. So 3D, 2D, Blender animation that's attempting to look like stop motion. They have a lot of influences and things that you can go and point and say that's interesting. That's an interesting influence. And they also just have a really fun. It's not wholesome, but a wholesome vibe, I guess, is the best way to put it. They did a whole video where Freddy and Jason are taking a bunch of other serial killers and they go into a convenience store and get snacks, and Jason's just has sign language. And Freddy's a fucking jackass who runs back in the store, buys a 6-pack of beers, I want some beer.
Okay.
It's fun, it's goofy, it's lighthearted. But also, they somehow made clowns badass.
Hey, clowns were already pretty cool.
No, but the string short.
It's on my list. I'll at least check out Big Top Burger and Captain Yajima because that is very me.
Yeah, everybody who loves tokusatsu and Japanese media needs to watch the Captain short. But there's this one. It's 2 minutes long, and it has an entirety of goddamn world building and lore and character arc and all that kind of jazz.
Wire. Interesting. I'm gonna put this on my watch later.
And the fun thing is, this guy also makes his own music. So he is artistically creative in so many different fields, and it just feels like, damn, this guy's a one-man animation studio. What could he make if he had assistants and people helping him and working on things?
Honestly, this isn't to sound mean. I kind of don't want him to, just because he's just he's already just it would kind of lose some of the magic. I feel like I
wouldn't say all the time, but give him a bigger project, let him do a 30-minute project with some people's help.
Yeah, I'm not saying put him on cable television. Give him a bigger budget.
No, we need to get this guy on G4 too. Him and Scott back to back. Let's do it.
The niche YouTubers that everyone loves out. I have a niche. Scott's not even niche anymore, but
Scott's about as mainstream as it gets without being Mr. Beast.
Yeah. But it's the best kind of.
Yeah. All right. So my number 4 is pretty fucking obvious, but I want to see if Boingo can guess it. And the way I'm going to do it is by giving you a hint in that they uploaded today.
Ooh. So I would assume that I am also subscribed to them.
I would assume so.
View?
Yeah!
I was trying to think of who do we both watch they uploaded today. It's not Comic Pop. No. Few uploaded today.
Yeah, Few posted his top 10 toys of 2021, which I have already watched. It's a good video. And all of Few's videos are good videos. And what can we have to say about Few that we haven't already? He's my favorite toy YouTuber. He just brings such exuberance to not just Transformers but toys as a whole in his videos, no matter what it is, no matter what he's talking about. And he always finds a way to, even though his titling is very rigidly structured, every video feels like a unique little piece in and of itself. And unlike a lot of YouTubers where you can kind of track a progression of their quality, I would say Few has this nice kind of bobbing back and forth between this video is okay, this video is fucking amazing, this video is pretty good, this video is not as great, but it's a Few video, it's still good.
I definitely feel like we're in an upswing of Theo right now, especially with the break bootleg beatdown coming back.
Yeah, that was great. And freaking I just love Damn It Open. Okay, it's my favorite unboxing show.
I'm a little sad he hasn't continued Toy Grind as much.
I would love some more toy grinds. Yeah, I feel like there's some lines that could be really interesting to get his take on, but I don't know if he has any interest in them. I'd love to at least see him
with the way he's talking about like his, I don't want to say frustration, but his waning apathy of Transformer collecting. I can see Toy Grind being a good way of like Valve release.
Yeah, he should maybe like take a break from Transformers and check out some other lines from around the time he was a kid, because not to get into off topic too much, but that is something I've been thinking about doing, is taking a break from current stuff and like buying more stuff from around the mid 2000s, which is my sweet spot. But yeah, I really like Few. There's just, we've talked about him to death on this channel because he's one of our original, like, hey, have you heard of this guy?
Both watch this guy. Yeah.
Like right now we're on Comic Pop and Trash Taste. Before it was Dank Pods, but the original is Few.
Yeah. It also doesn't hurt that like all three of the white boys of this group, me, you, and Snow, Cody, we're basically like one part of Few. Like put us together, we've all
our powers combined. All right, Buster, what's your number 3?
Okay, number 3, I'm a bit like hesitant about. What I you know what? I'm gonna say it, Defunctland.
Right?
Yeah, I'll be.
Whoa, you're roboting out a bit there, Boingo.
I have no idea what he's. But yeah, I was a bit like hesitant because I haven't watched every Defunctland video, mostly because they're big time investment. I have to be in like a certain mood to watch like specific videos, like especially on real world events. But like with the topics he covers and the way he does it is like it's so good. It's like even I'd argue it's beyond YouTube. Like this is like movies, not even like cable TV, movie level production values.
Documentaries. Like his videos remind me of back when like National Geographic and History Channel weren't infested with reality TV and played documentaries regularly.
Yeah, like those are just great documentaries, but like even still, it has still like a sense of humor and like very like wit, may I say, like just like and dare I say passion, which is especially in the Muppet video, like you could really feel the passion in the Jim Henson perspective. Which is how I actually got introduced to Defunctland. And then
the Fast Pass documentary was one of the best documentaries in years.
Yeah. I actually like Letterboxd. Actually, I'm not sure if they removed it. Let me check. They actually had it as a movie, and I actually put it above Inside in the top 21 movies of the year. Let me pull up that movie list.
I definitely say I like his videos about old TV shows a lot more than anything else, just because he tends to cover shows that like I never hear anyone else talking about.
Yeah, like I was actually planning to do a Fetch video, and then he just comes in and just does like basically the definitive Fetch, and it's like this is amazing. I grew up with Fetch.
I will say this,
like, chill for him to do a Cyber Chase video. That was my jam when I was in the PBS
I feel like
age.
That's inevitable. I feel like that's inevitable given his subject.
But his theme park videos often feel like also like one part documentary on the tourist industry of Florida, which is also fascinating to me.
Yeah,
especially as like I used to live in California, so I went to theme parks pretty regularly, and even like when I do go on vacation, I go to theme parks. So like it's very interesting. Like the first theme park channel I learned about was Some Jerk of a Camera, which I did consider putting on this list, but I just ultimately decided against it for reasons I don't want to go into. I didn't, but like Defunct Dad also scratched that itch of like I want more analytical theme park content that isn't just vlogs. So
I also like how he's able to be very critical of Disney while not like constantly going to Disney bashing. Because I feel like a lot of people on the internet these days are either you're a Disney fan or you constantly bash Disney.
Well, to be fair, that's like the air of professionalism, like that he's like he's not he doesn't really...
But like he also does say like Disney made a good theme park ride here. It was a good ride. People liked it and people enjoyed it. The Fast Pass one is a great example of that because he criticized he showcased why Fast Pass was such a good idea and why the contemporary system of Fast Pass is such a downgrade. And here's the thing. When I went to Disney on a regular basis, it was during the perfect Fast Pass era. And I'm just like, yes, that Fast Pass was amazing. We loved it.
To be fair, I couldn't relate as the Fast Pass documentary enough as much, but it was still really well done. Probably because I was like a small child who like had to rely on parents for like what I'm gonna do for a fast.
You know what? I'm gonna admit something that's probably gonna get me yelled at. I got maybe 20, 35 minutes into it. I was like, I only kind of understand this, and it's a little information overload, so I'm a bomb out.
Yeah, here's the thing. I knew Fast Pass. I already understood the system because I'm a Floridian who went to Disney several times. So
yeah, and despite living in Florida for several years, I've only been to Disney like once or twice, and I don't remember if we used Fast Pass or not. We probably didn't.
Again, I'm also one of those weirdos who says like Epcot's one of their favorites.
Oof.
Interesting. All right. Well, Boingo, what is your number 3?
Actually, continuing on the theme of like technical talk, technology connections.
What? I've never heard of this one either.
Okay. You know how some tech people talk about like computers and the latest iPhones and the fanciest cameras and all that tech?
Mm-hmm.
This guy went, I want to talk about the mundane tech. The technology that surrounds our daily lives, that's useful, that's innovative, that helped improve our lives, but are not something you consciously think of. They're not the shiny thing. They're not the bright, pretty thing that you want to get the new one to show off. This is technology like indoor heating, chest freezers, photography development, laser disc.
That is esoteric, but awesome.
Mm-hmm. Like he just recently did a video series where basically he was like, hey, all you kids who don't know how to develop photography, here's the entire history of the photo development so you can understand how important and how critically changing it was that we now have digital photography.
I'm gonna look this channel up. This is one I could definitely see myself getting into.
He also has a very simple, dry wit, very sarcastic, very, very pun heavy. Just today, he made a 21-minute video about a can opener.
Whoa.
That's the kind of like focus in on like simple technology that he gets. Let's go through. He made a 2-video series detailing why the packets you put into a dishwasher are wrong and you should be using the inbox powder. It's nice. A lot of older technology we don't use anymore. Like, what is a lava lamp? How does a microwave work? How does this thing play CDs and records? All this kind of stuff. Brown, it's a weird color. He did an entire video series detailing the actual war between VHS and Betamax.
Nice.
Like, yeah.
I could get into this. Yeah, I'll watch some of these tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else to go into about him?
No. They make really good content. Unless Buster wants to ask any questions about him.
Buster, do you have words?
I don't have words. Move on to Vax number 3.
Okay. All right, everybody. Here it is. Here is the moment you have all been waiting for. Vac is going to reveal his favorite video essayist on all of YouTube. Are you ready? Are you excited? Is there any anticipation? I fucking doubt it. Because guess what?
Because I'm very concerned.
It's the person who's made the single greatest video about comic books ever, B-Mask.
Yeah.
Oh, I was actually kind of considering it, but I kind of fell off the B-Mask train after.
No, I legitimately
love it. Doesn't hurt that it hurts that B-Mask had to basically go under multiple medical procedures.
I
He
heard
had
about
like
that.
a year hiatus this year because of that, which
Yeah,
sucks. But I'm glad he's doing better.
yeah. It's
I
not.
mean,
It's
he
not.
did
I
just
don't.
drop.
Mandalorian. And his Mandalorian video was fucking great. I mean, there were moments where I was like, I'm sad you feel that way, but never like, oh, screw you, I disagree. Yeah, both his Scooby Doo videos are really fun, even though if I think he honestly didn't need to make the second one. His Breaking Bad content is really cool. I never would have gotten back into the MonsterVerse if it wasn't for his video on Kong Skull Island. And I'm just scrolling through the channel. His gem video got me to watch that show, and now I'm like him. I'm some weirdo in his 20s who likes gem. Fucking his Hercules video was so eye-opening to how interesting musicals are for somebody who's just like never been into that world.
Oh yeah, actually,
It's also the most brilliant takedown of anybody who says Hercules doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the part where he's just straight up like fuck Doug and fuck Disney December is great.
Yeah.
And his hour-long fucking video on Hill Street Blues. Who would have guessed that would have been so interesting? I mean, unless you've already seen the show. His video where like, even though I like Age of Ultron, I know I'm a weirdo for it, but his rebooking of Age of Ultron is great.
His Sam and Max video is also really good too.
Yeah.
That's right. He makes video game videos. I forgot about that.
That was like the bulk of his content and why I actually started watching him. Like a YouTuber I watched, Clemps, he was like doing a best of 2019 video, I think. And he was like, I really like B-Mask, and I'm sure I'll watch B-Mask. Then I watched a lot of his content, and then I kind of fell off after kind of a horrible experience with Discord server. I don't fault him for it. It's
Gotta vibe with Clemps though. You gotta love the chaotic bisexual man.
Oh yeah, like I think Clemps is the reason I'm like very confident in myself, like self-image. I probably should have put him on the list, but I haven't watched his videos and I feel kind of bad.
But I also really enjoyed B-Mask's Sly Cooper series.
Oh, I need to watch that.
I haven't watched any of those. The only video game video of his I've watched is his video on Crash 4, and it's just because when it got uploaded, I was so excited there was a new B-Mask video.
But I'm really glad he put the first 3 minutes of the video as its own video. It's like his editing game is like, whoa, this is. Like,
that's the other thing I love about him. He's probably the best editor on my list. I wish I could edit video essays as well as he does.
Yeah, especially the way he uses music, like the way he just times everything to music, just like mesmerizing.
I'm so fucking scared of copyright bots that I've just like never actually tried to do good music editing. So like,
well, that's because like he uses a lot of video game music or covers.
Yeah, and I just don't listen to a lot of video game music, so I wouldn't know.
But yeah, no, his Fantastic Four video is definitive Marvel watching.
Yeah, it's like if you want to understand why Marvel is good, you watch that video.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm pretty sure the next Marvel video is Thunderbolts, because I'm pretty sure the silhouette is Citizen V.
See, that's interesting because Thunderbolts is like a fairly recent thing, isn't it?
No, it's been since around the mid-90s.
But I'd consider that fairly recent compared to the Fantastic Four.
That's 30 years ago.
I know.
It was during Heroes Reborn, after Onslaught. The Avengers had disappeared, so they took place of the Avengers.
Okay. All right, Buster, what's your number 2?
Number 2. All right. I'm gonna say Toonrific Tariq. So he's like a cartoon review. What makes him stand out is the presentation, and I feel like I see a lot of imitators of his presentation. Like he does like AMVs in between, like quick little AMVs. I see a lot of that in cartoon reviews these days, and I'm like, it doesn't work as well because Tariq is authentic about it. Because he loves music, he loves like the black culture because he's a black guy. He's just very like he's very chill. He's very passionate. He's very funny. It just like this. Just you could just feel him in every one of his like even like the Peanut specials. He's currently reviewing every Peanut special. And like even if those videos don't do well, they still feel authentically him. He's not afraid to like insult his audience or like call out like problems in the show. But he also is very complimentary. And it's like it's just one of my favorite videos from him is his Scoob video. Y'all hated Scoob, where basically every one of his friends roasts him and he roasts them back. and it's just, but there's still like this really passionate like analysis of this movie. Everyone kind of wrote off as cheap, corporate, and like he does acknowledge that, but he still finds merit in that movie. Yeah. Also the little things about the Goofy movie video, very good analysis on that movie. Again, just very personal. It's kind of what I want to do with my content, just very personal, very you can feel his self in every one of his.
You've talked about him a lot to me, but I've never actually checked out his content. But explaining it that way does make him seem kind of interesting.
Yeah. Again, like I see a lot of people try to imitate like his style, specifically the AMV editing, and it just falls flat for me because it's just like it's just clearly just trying to be imitating, and just because it's cool, like there's not like it's not written as sharply or as passionately as what he does, you know? Like
It'd be like someone trying to imitate B-Mask's inserts in the Fantastic Four video when he transitions from parts.
Yeah.
He did that because he really wanted to do that, but if you're just doing it because you think it looks cool,
Yeah, I mean, like, a good example of that on my account, in my Gokaiger analysis, I split it up into parts, but now looking back, I really didn't need to do that. I just wanted it to come off as big and fancy and like, oh, it's in parts and chapters and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I recently rewatched that, and it's like, there was like a part that lasted for 40 seconds, odd. Like...
Yeah. That's all there is to say about that. Boingo, what's your number 2?
Alright. So, this is actually a video game channel, and I'm pretty sure, like, Buster will know these people, but, Stop Skeletons from Fighting.
Yeah!
Damn it.
Let's go!
This is okay, so people don't know about this because it's usually off mic, but this is a thing that like just every like 3 months or so Boingo will bring up, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna check him out, and I never check him out.
So Stop Skeletons from Fighting is Derek, Uncle Derek, basically who is your weird uncle who fucking loves video games, who has everything, and you go like, what the fuck is that? And he'll explain it to you.
Okay.
And love it, and even no matter how crap it is.
So you would say watching this channel is like living life with Derek.
Fuck off.
I honestly like his Xbox documentaries are like some of my favorite videos to just put on and relax to, and I really love his new delisted series because I always find delisted games very. I love that he's like looking into those.
I don't even know what is a delisted game? What?
Games that are sold online that are no longer that you are no longer to buy from the servers.
Oh, okay.
So it's delisted. It's not on the list anymore.
All right.
But like he has another series called Punching Weight, where basically he looks at games that had no business trying as hard as they did. They could have failed. Most often, they failed, but they tried super hard. Like a first-person shooter on the Game Boy Advance.
Or the Tiger Electronic game comp.
Yeah. Or trying to port Resident Evil to the Game Boy Color. Not an adaptation, port it, where it's like camera angles and you move around in 3D space on the Game Boy Color. Or his variety of series just talking about weird controllers like the Nintendo 64 mouse or the PlayStation mouse.
Or that like N64 controller that's like 2 N64 controllers in one.
Yeah. It's very much most people who make video game content talk about the video games everybody knows. Some kind of Johnny reviews the games people know. A lot of people just like, here's a game, here's what we know. Derek likes to dive into the dollar bin of video game shit and goes like, look at this fucking weirdo piece of shit. And love it. He loves this kind of stuff. It's me with my 90s comics. They are weird, gangly messes, but I have a love and appreciation of.
Yeah. It's me with the Unicron trilogy Transformers.
Yeah.
Not to mention that this wasn't technically his first like branding, because he used to be known as the Happy Video Game Nerd.
Oh, he's that guy?
Yeah, he started off as a parody of AVGN.
Wow. So I've known about this guy forever then, because I don't watch this YouTuber anymore, but one of my really early YouTube memories is watching a video called The Top 10 Worst YouTubers That Everybody Is Watching, and I think he was either in there or he got mentioned as like being similar to another YouTube. Oh no, he got mentioned as being similar, as being a good version of the irate gamer.
Oh,
i.e., someone's copying the AVGN, but he's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
because like you could kind of that kind of traces back to Stop Skeletons, because Happy, he talks about games he loves and usually very niche, obscure games. Because Doom 64s, and what was the first one he covered? Metal, yeah. But like, and now he's still passionately talking about like games he loves, even if they are stupid. Like it's kind of it's a beautiful evolution just in like the modern YouTube format.
And like, he's
Yeah.
not afraid to like work with other people to make interesting side content, and they did, and the people who were making the channel, because it's him and his partner,
Yeah, producer Grace.
producer Grace, just changed up how their Patreon works to try and make bigger, better content. So that's always a fun thing. His Tony Hawk Ride video series is really good. Again, like any Game Boy Advance punching weight is producer Grace. Just changed up how their Patreon works to try and make bigger, better content. So that's always a fun thing. His Tony Hawk Ride video series is really good. Again, like any Game Boy Advance punching weight is solid. This is really good, good lad. Good lad.
Yeah. Should I do my number 2?
Yeah. Go poop.
So I'm sure Boingo has at least heard of this person, but I don't know if any of you are subscribed to them. Toy Galaxy.
You mentioned
I'm
them.
subscribed to Toy Galaxy.
Okay. Toy Galaxy is a channel that I can elevator pitch as the toys that made us but good.
Yes. Okay, I'm scrapping right now.
Because it's weekly, short, like 10 to 25-minute videos that are just, here is a chunk of the history of this franchise with snappy editing and a few jokes thrown in, but it's never disrespectful, and it never comes off like he didn't do his research.
Like, oftentimes the jokes are made at his expense, or like people who fucked up a product expense.
Yeah.
Is it a Mask Rider video?
He did a Masked Rider video. He's done a video on Ninja Turtles Next Mutation. My most recent favorite video of his is the video he did on Mousetrap, because that's another thing I love about him. He doesn't just stick to big name brand toy franchises. He'll go into like he did a video on the Fox Kids block. He did a video on Mousetrap. He just recently did a video on Alf. So like he'll go to like just other nostalgic things that you wouldn't necessarily think of as a toy brand.
Hasn't he made a video on the history of Pogs?
I think so. I haven't watched it in forever though. He made a he recently got a ton of traction for his video on Wizard and Toy Fair magazine. And like it's just these very good, very succinct, like, you don't know about this thing, here's what you need to know in order to start getting into this thing kind of videos. And then on his second channel, Toy Galaxy 2, which I love that he spelled it TOO, because everybody just does the number 2.
But TOO is a lot more.
Yeah. But he does a lot of like videos, just like his personal opinions on toys he's currently collecting. Like he did, Dan in the Photo Booth was the series he was doing on that channel for the longest time, which originated on the main channel, but there was a point where they were like, oh, it'll be better for the algorithm if we just put the history ofs here and everything else on another channel. And recently he changed up the format of that because they're actually successful enough to have an office. So him and his friend who run the channel are now doing the Dan in the Photo Booth style videos together for the most part. Like the PO unboxings is going to be the both of them, and then if he's just talking about a toy he wants to talk about, that'll be him solo. So it's a very good, very robust, very healthily run channel. Like probably the closest I think you can get to like trying to appeal to the mainstream and like optimizing for the algorithm without just being straight clickbait garbage.
I'll definitely check out the Voltron one, because I kind of want to do a Voltron retrospective one day, and I need the research. So,
And that's another great thing about him. He will specifically state like, "Hey, this video is about this chunk of history, so don't comment at me with, why didn't you talk about this incarnation or this incarnation?" Like his Voltron video is very specifically, I'm talking about 80s Voltron. I will make a 2000s and a 2010s Voltron video eventually, but not right now.
I pray for the comment section on the 2010s one.
All right, it's time, boys. Buster, what's your
Yeah.
number one?
Okay, number one is I decided to go for more personal. Like it's not like a personal something, but mostly inspiration. Person. Just more like what I wanted to do and what I still kind of wanted to do. I'm gonna pick a YouTuber that doesn't upload any. That I watched a lot like growing up, and I was kind of sad when they stopped. But I still come back to their videos and I love their content. I feel like it's kind of important, and that is Balrog's Game Room.
Okay.
Okay, again, this is a very personal pick. So like, they're not like I probably like other YouTubers are better on this list I mentioned, but this is more just like me, like what I like. And like they've rebooted multiple times. It's me. I also rebooted multiple times. Okay, that's not the reason why, but like just their creative drive to keep trying something different and always like reinvent, even when it seems like cringe. Like when like they go back, they actually have this really cool live stream where they go back to their old videos and just big yikes. But like this just is I'll do like funny skits like their Rugs Game Room Adventure was. That's what I want to do on like these like still analysis and thought, but like just pure analysis. But like I'm gonna do this.
Yeah. I can see a lot of Balrog in your stuff you do. Because he was part of a Hidden Block.
Yeah, actually, like his hidden block introduction video is still cracks me up. It's wonderfully goofy in that like good early 2010s YouTube way.
The name sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know that I've ever heard of Balrog's Game Room before.
See, I remember Balrog from the games, but also he was in the Normal Boots dating sim
Okay.
as a side character.
Oh yeah, he was in it. Okay, of course was, but like that's aged poorly.
Oh yeah.
Like because of some problematic figures that were included.
You can say JonTron. You can say JonTron.
Yeah, and also the other guy.
Yo, for spoilers for when we make worst YouTubers list. Fuck JonTron.
Yeah, fuck JonTron.
Are we getting first YouTubers list?
We could.
We could one day, maybe.
Though it wouldn't, titling it worst YouTubers would be very misnoming. It would be like worst YouTubers that we know of.
Yeah, because like we would probably have to. But then again, I don't really feel like, because a lot of worst YouTubers to me, like I have to drag down like in their very unpleasant things. But
Or they're like legitimately problematic people.
yeah, like they're just like stuff I don't really want to talk about further. But anyway, back to Balrog. Yeah, but just like he's like, even though he's never uploading, he stopped uploading. He was gonna make like a running joke on the channel was the review of Pokemon X and Y. His last video was 2 years ago, and his last 2 years ago was his last video, and it's a bit bitter.
Did he legitimately say he was done, or is it just that he hasn't been able to make a video for a long time?
No, he said he was done. Like he's done streaming. He's on Twitter. He did like funny stuff, but like
he wanted to move on. He wanted to do another thing. He wanted to move on in his life.
I mean, like there's YouTubers out there I can talk about like that. Like I will never not shout out Hypocrite for like having the balls to just straight up say like, hey, I'm not cut out to be a YouTuber. I have other prospects. I'm gonna go do that. See y'all around after like 5 years of trying.
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody.
He's working on like I think he's like at like a technician. Like he had like a full-time job or. But yeah, even if he's like not like he's never gonna come back, it probably never. But like the stuff, like I'm just happy that it happened at first.
Balrog's Game Room 10 years after.
Oh, I think we're past that. Actually, no. I think next year.
I'm thinking like you would make it 10 years after the last upload.
Yeah, fair. Like in 8 years, we'll get a 10 years. But yeah, that's. I probably could have picked like something grander for number one, but I decided to go for more like inspirational, personal.
All right.
Boingo, your turn.
Yeah. What's your number one, boy?
It's probably going to be a little obvious. I've talked about them a couple times. Civi 11.
I don't recognize this name. What the fuck?
I know who Civi is. Only from Matt McBustle's cameo.
Yeah, Civi 11, which is actually there's an in storyline reason why he's called that. is a guy who reviews video games. More often than not, he talks about PC first-person shooter games, the quote-unquote boomer shooters. But
oh no, okay, I do know this person now. Or I know
Yeah.
this, of this person thanks to you now.
yeah. But really fun, really insightful look into these games, look into this kind of era of gaming. He doesn't only stay in there. He does talk about newer stuff. He does talk about other projects or things semi-related to it. Like he talked about Alice in the Madness, all that kind of stuff. But there is an underlying of storyline in his videos of basically he is a prisoner of the U.S. government for some reason, and he is tortured, mutilated, maimed, and overall given a very shitty time through a variety of dumb lore things. Think Mystery Science Theater, but dark. Like,
you know what else it made me think of?
What?
Spawn Year.
Here's the thing, though. He is not a hero. He is he never gets to fucking win. He's not the main character. He's not trying to save the world. It's just that's the running gag. Is that he gets shit on. He starts he makes a pun, he gets fucking tased.
Wow.
No puns. That kind of comedy.
Okay.
So, from what I'm getting, it's like, what's that torture me? Hostile? Or is that different?
Here's the thing, though. Again, there's lore that he mentions, oh yeah, no, my uncle was a terrorist. What? What is going on here? You never get any information, and that's kind of the point. I say it's story, and I say it's lore, but it's nonsense. It's a joke. It's a gag.
Like trying to figure out the Undertaker's backstory.
Yeah,
so
there's two robot people who torture him. Guess how they're made? Oh, they took half of his brain, split that in half, and put it in each of the robot, and that's how they live. There's a cancer rat. There's a cancer mouse. It is just a tiny little mouse that is radioactive and starts talking in right-wing talking points. That's the joke.
That sounds amazing.
That legitimately sounds pretty good. What's the production quality like on this channel?
No. Okay, here's the thing. There's no live action bits. It is all told basically from the perspective of Civvy, from his eyes, and it's kind of animated, kind of 3D rendered environments and very simple animations. And it all depends. Some videos, it's just gameplay footage, and there's no story lore bits. And some videos, it's the beginning, middle, and end, and it's a common reoccurrence, it's a running gag. It all depends.
Interesting.
No one in this call is gonna get this reference, but this sounds like Saw by way of Conjun House.
I mean, you're probably not wrong. That's the interesting thing. But he also talks. He is also he will proudly talk about the shitty, schlocky B-movie pieces of shit that he loves. He loves Postal, the Postal game series.
I think that's what I was thinking of.
Where you play a mass shooter.
Okay.
Yeah, he loves those games. You play a sociopath, and he goes yeah, no, you play a sociopath. It's fun.
And you piss on people.
Yeah.
Sounds like a canon movie.
But he's also the person who kind of inspired me of how to go back and talk about older videos, because his old videos that he isn't proud of anymore, he just retitles them old and crap. It's not good anymore. If you want to watch it, you can, but it's not good.
I think the only one you've done that with is the Gaim video so far.
Yeah.
I disagree with, but all right.
It's old and crap because I didn't explain myself well enough.
Okay, that's fine.
That's not the opinion. The opinion I still hold by. I didn't explain it well enough.
Good.
Yeah, I'd agree.
When I eventually make my Gaim video, we should collaborate on it.
But yeah, no, it's mostly boomer shooters. He does a point and click adventure every once in a while. He does platformers every once in a while. But it's also through his videos, you learn the history of id Software, Ravensoft, bunch of these different game studios that just got shit on by different companies, and the greasy bastard Randy Pitchford.
I definitely know who that is.
Oh, he's even worse David Cage.
I kind of know who that is.
Let me just give you an example of a couple things that happened.
Medieval
he once left a USB at Medieval Times filled with porn. It was his work USB.
Oh, I think you guys have told me about this fucker before.
Yeah.
God, if Modular Components as a show has proved anything, it's that I just have a terrible memory. God damn it.
But also, Civi has
podcasts.
some really cool accolades under his belt, because sometimes he will review a modern indie shooter, and he will say the most outlandish, "This game makes my penis rock hard," kind of like one-line critical thing, and go like, and he basically went, "I dare you to put that on the fucking Steam page." They did.
Isn't there a few video like that where he was like, or no, it's Vangelis. Vangelis made a video where he was talking about some anime robot, and he said a name of one of its modes, and he was like, "Doesn't that make your balls feel like they're pulsating with new hair?"
Yeah, but like literally, the game studio saw that clip, saw that line, and was like, "Yeah, we're putting that on Steam in front of everybody to sell our game."
Did they do that
Nice.
with Ultra Kill?
I think it's anything by New Blood. So Ultra Kill, Dusk, all those games.
Nice.
Like,
Zach, what's your
it
number?
could kind of be considered that this guy is a major hand in the boomer shooter revival of video games.
Yeah.
Wow.
Always love to see YouTubers like give more exposure. Yeah. Okay. Just say
Yes.
Modular Media. Get this.
You can say my channel. It's fine.
Actually, boys, I have a bit of a surprise for you. A bit of a little secret I've been keeping about myself our entire friendship. You're never gonna see this one coming.
Okay.
I'm legitimately a little nervous about this because I got 3 words for you. Subscribe to PewDiePie.
I'm gonna quit. I quit.
Yeah, I'm joking.
Good. Thank God.
Oh, if only I could have. If only we were live and everybody could have seen the face Boingo made.
Here's the thing. I know you have shit taste, and that's not a non-possibility.
You made the U version of Princess Leia going, "You came in that thing?" Oh man. But no, yeah, I was totally just throwing everybody because mine is absolutely no surprise. Hey, what channel did we talk about all the fucking time? That Boingo and I love. Fucking oh Mike.
Oh, Dying Pods.
It's fucking Dying Pods, isn't it? Oh,
It's Dying Pods.
God damn it, Craig.
Oh, it's a Craig.
No, if Dank Pods uploads a video, I stop what I'm doing. Like legitimately.
What if you're at work?
I go to the nearest bathroom stall, and fucking just like the guy is an absolute sensation. He came out of nowhere. He hit a niche that nobody knew was there, and he's completely revolutionized product reviewing with just how witty, how quick and snappy and well edited he is, even though he's got what at first glance looks like a completely jank setup. And he's talking about something I literally don't give a flying fuck about. I never owned an iPod or any kind of MP3 player growing up. My first music player was a shitty CD player. Then I had a tablet. Then I listened to music on my desktop primarily. Then I started getting phones. I've never owned an iPod. I'm not even an Apple guy. I'm one of those fucking weirdos who will defend Windows Vista. But I love Dank Pods because he is so entertaining. He knows what he's talking about, and he's so passionate about it. And he'll delve into things I never knew could be interesting. Like fucking Few is a drummer. Few talks about playing the drums occasionally, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine, that's your thing, whatever. Dank Pods talks about being a drummer. I sit the fuck up and pay attention because I know he's gonna tell me something interesting.
Because Theo's a metally punky drummer, so he's just like bashy.
Dank Pods is into all kinds of music. Like you get the feeling he leans towards jazz, but he'll play anything if encouraged to. That fucking video he put out on his second channel today about cymbals was so cool.
Dank Pods is a very interesting fellow because he builds motorcycles, he works on cars, he has a growing video game collection where he has a setup and all that kind of stuff. He owns a warehouse.
Yeah.
Dank Pods is like goals for what I want to do.
He's legitimately running a small business off of YouTube now.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, and most important of all, I've been deathly afraid of snakes my entire life. Like, legitimately, there have been points where I'll just see a wild snake crossing my driveway and I will run back inside in my childhood. In this house, we stand Franklin the Bifon.
She's a good girl. She's a good girl.
Yeah, she is. She's cheeky. She's a wiggler, but she's a good girl, and we stand Franklin.
Wag. I might check it out sometime. Can't guarantee.
And here's the thing: he doesn't only talk about iPod stuff. He also talks about just general audiophile equipment and explains it in a way that if you aren't into audio, like someone like I am, you can understand it.
He's my favorite YouTuber. I'm using Dirty Buds right now.
Because they're okay. They're good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just with like YouTube, like I'm very like I don't like branching out that much unless like if you have a good gut feeling about it, you know?
Fair enough. But I mean, like if Boingo or you've done this once or twice. If somebody tells me who I trust says, "Hey, you would like this channel, check them out," even if it at first glance doesn't look like I like them, I will at least watch their 2 most viewed videos.
And see, when I introduced you to Dank Pods, it was mostly like, "Hey, this is just a fun, goofy. Look at the personality of this guy." I wasn't expecting you to like really dive into them because I knew it's a niche subject that I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
That I wasn't sure. Like, hey, he'll find it funny for the one video and cool, but then we just started going like Puxels.
Look at us now.
This is how
look at us, you and me. Who'd have thought? We're standing in a chubby Australian drummer.
I mean, he's literally changed the way I talk. You can hear it whenever I stream on Twitch. I literally go, "Oh, mate," all the fucking time, just like him.
And in the Mickey Mouse voice.
I mean, I didn't start clowning on Craig super hard until I started watching his videos. And it just so happens we have a Craig in our life, and he's a piece of shit too.
Yeah.
Although he's been good tonight.
Yeah, he's been good.
Probably because he's under new management as of today.
Really?
What happened?
Yoweasel was looking to relinquish control for a while now, and he basically put out a video or a post at the start of December that said, "Hey, if anybody's interested and has actual coding skills, send me a message and we'll talk."
And they just wanted to let go of the project and go like, "I want the project to exist, but I don't want to be in control of it."
Yeah, he was like, "I made this to help people, but helping people now takes up all of my free time and I want to do other things." So he gave it to 2 different people, Cool Guy 3289 and Shanza, I think is how you pronounce that.
Mm-hmm. Hope they don't screw over the Craig. They better do Craig justice.
Yeah. And, I'm just going to put this out there. I'd love to have any of the 3 of them as guests on Components in the future, just because we use Craig to make the show.
Yeah. It is a necessary component of our
modular component
of our process.
All right. Well, there you have it, everybody. The top 5 YouTubers as listed by Free Bozos.
Yep.
We did it. We made another top 5 episode.
Who you calling bozo?
Do you have preferred derogatory pronouns, Buster?
No. I think just like stupid.
You're a stupid poopy head then.
Yeah.
And I'm a fucker. That's what I am. Everybody knows that.
You fucker.
All right. Well, that's gonna wrap the episode. So, Buster, tell the good people who you are and where they can find your content.
Hi, I'm Buster Corp. I do video essays, I think, on the internet. I really put out 2 videos on Everhood and Superhero Senki. Please watch them.
Yeah. Go follow Corp Fake because I'm excited about that account. Weirdly,
yeah, because it's like I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but apparently a viewer is making a fake Buster Corp thumbnail. So shout out to Dave.
Yeah, what's up, Dave? Thanks for being a loyal fan, I guess.
Boingo.
Sorry for a thought thinking it was malice because I've had bad experience with that before.
I mean, fair enough. I was freaked out too, but anyway.
I thought it was you at first. I thought you were just having a gag, Buster.
No, why would I make a
Boingo Buster's working us?
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Is this a work or a shoot? What's going on?
6 months from now, Buster's like, "It was me, Austin. It was me all along."
That would be the worst plot twist ever. I guarantee you. I do not make gimmick accounts of MILF. Anyway, Boingo, tell the good people of it who you are.
Yes.
Hey, Pits, Bots, and Bites. Howdy, howdy. I am Boingo Writer. I do a variety of content on the internet. I stream on Twitch a lot, so you can follow me there on twitch.tv/Boingo Writer. If you want to see a robot play a bunch of JRPGs, you can follow me on Twitter at Boingo_Writer, Instagram at Boingo_Writer, TikTok at Boingo_Writer. And hey, do you like video essays and editorials? Fuck, you can follow me on YouTube. Just search Boingo Writer. You'll find me. Yeah.
I am the Vacuuminator, a man who likes tokusatsu and toys far too much, so he makes content about those things. You can find me at youtube.com/c/thevacuuminator. And on Twitter, tweeting and twatting about everything that comes into my stupid little head at the Vacuuminator, and on Instagram, posting photos of toys and my dogs whenever I want to at _Vacuuminator. But that is not all. You can also help us here at Modular Media out by subscribing to the channel, hitting that bell and whatnot. Give us a like, give us a comment, follow us on a podcasting platform, posting there. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter at the Modular Media to get updates on when and where we're doing things, and join our subreddit r/Modular Media for that same reason. And also, I don't know, maybe you could post some memes there or something. We need modular memers. But folks, that's gonna do it for this episode of Modular Components. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next.
Yeah.
Bye.